Earlier this year, CBS's Tony Dokoupil did a story about his grandparents' hometown of Lyndhurst, New Jersey, and in doing so, broke some difficult news to the town's unofficial historian.
Wait a minute, you're telling me they were only going to mortgage white people?
Yeah.
For you to say that Lyndhurst is the way it is, because it almost implies that Lyndhurst was racist.
No, this is my family too. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we had no idea.
You're right. Most people would not have known that the federal government had this program in place.
Okay, first, I get that this is uncomfortable, but I will say, if a white person says that almost implies blank was racist, and another one says, no, this is my family too, that doesn't mean the matter is closed. If two white people are trying to figure out if something is racist, 9 times out of 10, it probably is. As for that man's claim, most people would not have known this program was in place. Just hold on there, because none of this was a secret at the time. And when you take all of this together, the redlining, the blockbusting, the steering, and not least, the federal government's involvement, it all becomes clear that the myth of white Americans' post-war prosperity, powered by ingenuity and self-reliance, leaves a lot out. And the problem is, there are many white people who are unwilling to acknowledge this, or even if they do, are unsure what to do with the information. Remember Tony Dokoupil's story about Lyndhurst? The mayor there and the historian had very different reactions to what they were learning.
The one thing that I'm struggling with, and this is as somebody whose family came through here, is when I looked at the old maps, just over the river, the areas were redlined by the federal government, meaning they weren't worthy of mortgages, and Lyndhurst wasn't redlined. What do you do with that knowledge?
You move on. Come on, we're all God's people.
Now that we do know,
Right.
what do we do about it?
You know, that's a good question. I don't have the answer to that, Tony. I wish I did.
Okay, we'll get to the content of what they're saying in a second, but first, I gotta know everything about that mayor and how he came into office. If I had to guess, a couple of candidates disappeared. You can't have a runoff if only one candidate is on the ballot, can you? But as nice as it sounds to just move on, that is not dealing with the underlying injury here, because even if you had a magic wand and were able to stop every facet of housing discrimination going forward, you still wouldn't be undoing the damage that has been done.